Yo, about thanks again for tuning in to yet another video. Infamous coming at you live from the West Coast yet again, San Jose, California. So I am currently installing touring saddlebags on my Lowrider S. And if you're in the Facebook group for the Lowrider S and the Lowrider ST, you know that the saddlebags on your ST are not that great when it comes to cargo space. All right. So a lot of folks, of course, they're going with Leather Pros. They're going with different options, of course. So I just wanted to make a video to just kind of, point you in the right direction on where you potentially want to go, and probably some information that you should know before you buy these bags. All right. So of course you have a Lowrider S, and we're fitting touring saddlebags on these. So these are the touring, or let's just say they're the larger saddlebags, or they have more capacity than your current setup, of course. And these are hard saddlebags, so you're not going to see Leather Pros, but Leather Pros is one of the best options out there for the price and for the installation and for the cargo capacity. I believe the Leather Pros probably has more cargo capacity than these saddlebags. And like I mentioned, they're also easy to install. All right, and the quick detach system on the Leather Pros is by far the best out there. So they have the V3s, of course, and they're super quick, detachable, they're light. There's a lot of good stuff to say about the Leather Pros. I've had my Leather Pros for 4 years now, and I am very happy, even if they are $700. So getting on to, of course, the hard saddlebag options, these are probably, like I said, these are my favorite options. And like I mentioned, I already went with the CVO saddlebags with the speaker lids, the 6x9s. So getting onto the video, of course, this is Nasty Hog option. I like these because of the way they look, the way they fit, and like I said, they're easy to install. So you have a few options here. These look pretty cool. All right, they're chopped saddlebags, touring bags, of course, for your Lowrider S. You can see it right there, Lowrider S and Lowrider ST. You can see the detachable system that they have on the actual saddlebag. It looks to me, it looks to appear that this is the same system on your Lowrider ST. All right, so you can see, of course, where it mounts, and then it also has that support arm like the Lowrider ST. If you have ST bags, this looks very familiar. All right, so they mount up. You guys can see the image on the back. Very tight, very slick. Overall design. I like the fitting. I've seen these in the Facebook group. The gap between the fender and the saddlebag looks fantastic. I'm a big fan of this setup and the overall look. They have a little bit of a design as well, and they're also chopped. So they look very modern. They look very nice, like I mentioned. And the fitment, of course, like I mentioned, it looks pretty awesome. All right. So you do have a few options here. This is the Vivid Black, of course. No fender, crash bar guards, which is, I guess, what they have here. I guess you could get that, and it looks like it mounts to your strut, and then it mounts to your to where you actually put the passenger foot peg. So you have, like I said, you have a few options. You also have a couple color options, which is pretty fantastic. All right, getting these painted, I can assure you, you're looking at somewhere around $1,000. Easy, $1,000 to get these painted. So if you could save money by buying them paint matched, you're saving time and money. All right. So if these are as good as I believe they are, as far as the finish, I think this is well worth the extra. Let's see, is it an extra $500? Wow, it's actually just an extra $200. Yeah, it's only an extra $200. Let's see. Some of these are going to be... it's just the color option is only $200, guys. Get these color matched, all right? If you have a 2020 Lowrider S, all of these are like the modern ones. Shark Skin Blue, that's the 2024. The White Sand Pearl, that's a 2023. Red Rock, that's also a 2024. Midnight Crimson, that's a 2022. Billiard Gray, I'm not sure why... Is there billiard gray? I don't think there is a billiard. I guess that would be for the Street Bob. Barracuda Silver, that's a 2020. Gunship Gray. Oh, did I mix those up? Gunship Gray, is that a 2022? Midnight Crimson is 2021. All right, I believe I don't know. It's one of those. I believe I had those mixed up. But for an extra $200, get them color matched. 1,200, so it's $1,300. A solid option, quick, easy install. I would say, because you do have all the hardware. They included everything. That's some of the options that are out there. You're not gonna have brackets. You're not gonna have speaker lids. So you're gonna have to get more parts. But for a total price, $1,300, this is a solid option, right? You could double, triple your carrying capacity depending on what you currently have. If you guys are wondering about the fender, that's going to add an additional $500, and it's going to be this overall look. All right, so it is going to have a chopped fender. You guys can decide if this is a look that you're going for. I believe the actual fender is also ABS. It's plastic, so it's going to lighten up your rear end if that's what you want. But I think it's a solid look overall. The lights, the saddlebags, the quick detach system. I really like this whole package. But like I said, I'm on a budget, and $1,300 or Vivid Black, $1,100. That's very steep for my budget. So let's move on to, of course, just their basic bracket install system. Like I said, you could get these for $800, but you would still have to, of course, buy the bracket system. This does not include the bracket. So you are getting the lids with the hardware, which is $800. If you have the hardware, the latch system, then I guess you could get these just standard lids. I don't know if it includes the actual latching system, because why would it be, $200 for the latch hardware, black latch hardware? You could also just get these with no lids, but this video is to kind of, help you get a setup. You know what you could also do, in case you're out there wondering, you could get these without the lids, and then you could buy, of course, the TCMT or the Advanblack speaker lids. And then, of course, you could buy them with the 5x7s or the 6x9s. There's so many options. All right, I'm going to try to keep the video short. But, like I mentioned, $800 plus you still have to buy the bracket. So that really comes down to, what you want to get. So this would be $800 plus the actual conversion kit for a Lowrider S, the bracket itself. If you don't want to weld or anything like that, I am currently welding my bracket. You guys would have to, look up that video if you guys are wondering. But it's going to be $220 to have the bracket and to have the saddlebag. So you're pretty much in the same price range of the quick detach system. And, just another note, I believe these sit a little bit higher on the bike. So you can see the exhaust down here. Some of these will require, or some of these have clearance issues. All right. And this one looks to sit a little bit higher. I thought I saw an image. There was an image somewhere that I saw where it looks like the saddlebag actually sits just slightly taller. It looks like it's aligned. You see where the lid is? That's aligned with the fender. So I believe the quick detach system, they sit about an inch or two taller than this actual bracket. All right. If you guys been seeing, of course, the blockhead video, if you guys saw what's it called, Holy Shift, he was having exhaust clearance issues with this bracket. But he got his through Advanblack, and we're gonna look at Advanblack as well, of course. But $220, and then of course, if you want the saddlebags with the lids, you're already at that price of, let's go ahead and remove all this stuff of this. I believe it's only an extra $100, right? 800, 200. It's very close. So you're better off just getting these with the quick detachable Rebel chopped saddlebags. And I believe you have a little bit more clearance on, from the exhaust on this setup. All right, so let's move on to, of course, what I went with. You know, price wise, this was around my budget. You know, $400 plus. eBay had a sale called Ride Parts Deal. What was it, 15 or 20? You guys have to see in the unboxing video. So I saved myself a tad bit more money. So I believe I got these for $330, I think. Good discount. Then of course you also have the 6x9 speaker, which is also, you know, a lot. I believe it's not a lot better, or probably it is. It is a lot better over the 5x7. And you know, I really like the way these look, so that's why I went with this option. And like I mentioned, I got the TCMT Softail bracket, but it's a twin cam bracket. So I of course I have to modify it, I have to weld it, and I just added a couple extra pieces, and it should fit on the Lowrider S. So you know, so far with this setup, I am in somewhere around with the bracket. I believe the bracket was $30 or $40. I am somewhere around with the speaker lids, of course. You know, the speaker grills. Sorry, the speaker grills are not included in this. But if you wanted the kit with the speaker grills, I believe it's this one right here. So this one is $520 plus the bracket. So if you're doing it my way, then you're looking at, you know, $550 plus. You also have to modify the bracket. You could also go with this one because, like I said, it comes included with the speaker grills. The speaker grills at Harley-Davidson, these are $80 a piece. They're pricey. So having them already included, of course, with the saddlebags is a plus. You don't have to wait on them. I waited for my speaker grills. I think it took somewhere like 2 weeks. It wasn't that bad. So I ordered mine separate, of course, because it's also, you know, cheaper. So it's $400. These are $520, so it's $120 for the speaker grills. No, I'm not sure what else is included in these, but I guess if you're looking at getting them shipped sooner and faster, then I guess you would pay the extra. What is that? An extra $50. That's the price difference. $50, and they already have everything included. So if you guys seen my unboxing, it comes with three keys, of course, and you also have this extra wiring stuff. I also noticed after doing the unboxing, these also have powered locks. So if you wanted to, that's what that green and blue wire is down here, right there. That green and blue wire, that's for your power locks. So that's, or these are remote lock ready, which is pretty cool. So you could also, like I said, if you don't want to do any welding or any fabricating or anything like that, you could go ahead and go with these $520, and then of course you could also buy the bracket. All right, so you're looking at $220 plus the saddlebags, of course. You know, that price goes up. So I'm not good with math. Is that $740 or $750? Is that $750? $750? You guys can let me know in the comments. $750? Yeah, I think it's $750. If you don't, like I said, if you don't want to fabricate or anything like that, you just want to bolt it onto the bike. You will have, of course, the exhaust issue. You know, you might have some clearance issues, kind of like I mentioned, Holy Shift and Blockhead. If you're worried about the exhaust, because really, you know, I think it depends on how long the exhaust is. You would have to have a very short exhaust to fit with this bracket. If you're having concerns about the exhaust, because that is a big issue, just go with the quick detach. I don't think there's any notes. Here it is. Requires aftermarket exhaust below, in line with the rear axle bolt for proper fitment. Use accessories such as backrest or luggage racks. Requires installation of included extending docking kit. All right, so that's something else. So it looks like your exhaust needs to be in line or below your rear axle nut. All right, so here's the image. This one's a pretty common exhaust right here. Look at this, is the image I was talking about. Let's see if we could open this up. Let's go ahead and zoom in a little bit. So this, look at that. I think it's enough clearance. Like I said, this bracket you're gonna have issues. This bracket you're gonna have issues with clearance, because this little bracket, this little bend here, that's what hits the exhaust. And like I mentioned, you can see Holy Shift's video, but this looks pretty good. All right, there's a lot of room here. So this, of course, the muffler is aligned with the axle. You could see. So if you have a Bassani exhaust, which is what this is, a Bassani exhaust, looks like you'll have enough clearance. So, as far as clearance, this looks to have a bit more, clearance. Looks like you probably have about 3 to 4 inches. So make sure you do your measurements. Make sure you look at what you have with your exhaust. This by far, of course, the other one with the bracket, your bracket actually runs right here. So I'd say it's probably about an inch or two lower. So, just keep that in mind. All right, so we were on this one, of course. Now let's go ahead and look at another TCMT option, which is just your standard bags. This is going to be the cheapest method of adding the bags. These are just $220 plus, of course, the bracket. Like I said, I keep on going back to this one because this is basically what will fit without modification or welding. You could also get the Advanblack. Quite honestly, I believe they're the same bracket. You could also wait. Maybe we'll see these on eBay at the $40 price. The only real difference is actually the spacing right here on the one that I got for the twin cam Softail. The spacing is actually different. It's about 7 inches. On the twin cam Softail, it's a little bit further out. So that's why you can't just really get these to fit without even just like drilling a hole. You have to weld an additional bracket piece here to get these to fit. So 220 plus, of course, the 220 of the saddlebag. So you're at $440. $440. You'll get the touring bags, and you'll get the bracket from Advanblack or Nasty Hawk, wherever you want to buy it. So this would be, like I said, the cheapest way to get touring bags on your Lowrider S or your Lowrider ST or your M8 Softail, whatever you want to call it. But like I mentioned, this bracket, you will have to look at the clearance. I believe Advanblack has mentioned it has to be under 13 inches or something like that. So let's go ahead and go on to the Advanblack option. So these are, of course, new from Advanblack. You can see that they've added a little bit of a chop, so they do look a little bit like the 2023, 2024 CVOs. As far as what you get out of it, you also get the saddlebags, and you get the bracket itself. I don't know if they include the latching system. It looks like you probably do not get the latching system. So setup includes saddlebag bottoms, lids, one-touch hardware, and saddlebag. So I guess they do include the hardware, but I don't see it pictured here. But you can see here they have a whole video on the install on the saddlebags. Like I said, they do hang a little bit low. You have a stealth pipe, I believe, on this one. So you are getting super close to the exhaust. Here it is right here. The top of the exhaust needs to be lower than 13.5 from the ground to clear the bracket. So I'm guessing that's off the kickstand. It needs to be below 13 inches just to be on the safe side as far as, clearance with the actual bracket. And like I mentioned, again, Holy Shift blockhead, they had a weld, they had to modify. Holy Shift actually went a different route and got a completely different exhaust system, which is going to cost you, quite a bit more. And blockhead, they welded tabs, and they've shifted the actual bracket up by an inch, I believe, to kind of, push that up. So, complete setup includes saddlebags. Like I said, you have everything. They claim to provide everything. So let's go ahead and look at, of course, the benefits of getting it color matched. Like I said, you're saving yourself hundreds, maybe even thousands on the color match and on the paint. So you have multiple different options. Let's see if they're the same as Nasty Hog by keeping it $200. Let's just go ahead and let's just hit. All right, yeah, billiard gray, which is a simple color. let's see if we have something that I believe might be a little bit more pricey. All right, it looks like all the colors. It's just an extra $200, I believe. So unpainted, vivid black. It's only going to cost you, what is that, $70 for vivid black. And I believe the colors, it's only an extra $200. So it's just like a Nasty Hawk, but of course you have 61 options on the Advanblack. If you're fitting it on a Lowrider S, you only need these options. You only need what you have here. The Lowrider S, these are the only colors so far that the Lowrider S comes in. So you don't have to, of course, have all the 61 options of colors unless you're putting it on a Street Bob or something else. So all the options for your Lowrider S, your Lowrider ST, once again, comes back to the Nasty Hog option. You have more clearance on the exhaust. It has a quick detach system. There's a lot of benefits, and it's, like I said, it's not as pricey as the other options. This one, of course, you're looking at $1,129 if you want the vivid black, $1,200. This one's pretty much there. No, this one's actually cheaper, guys. Quick detach system. I'm digging it. You guys can let me know. Do you guys prefer this style, or do you guys prefer, of course, this style? They're both chopped, both look fantastic, but I'm leaning towards the Nasty Hawk if I had the money for it. So, like I mentioned, if you're having concerns about the exhaust system clearance, if you want the detachable function and you want these to look super close, super tight, look at this right here. These is, like I said, you would have to relocate the turn signals. But looking at this image, look how clean the gap is between the fender and the saddlebag. I think these are, I think these are probably the best option when it comes to adding touring bags to your Lowrider S or your Lowrider S or T or your Softail, your Milwaukee 8 Softail. And these would also fit on all of the Softail models except for probably the Fat Bob, because the struts on the Fat Bob, they do taper in. So you would probably have to add a spacer towards the back of the strut, to kind of compensate for how much they taper in on the Fat Bob. But I think you could probably make them fit. But the clearance looks pretty tight. Like I said, you wouldn't have to relocate the turn signals, or just delete your turn signals altogether, or probably get a tail light that has the turn signals integrated, stuff like that. But man, the video is long, guys. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for watching yet another video. If I didn't have, if I wasn't on a tight budget, I'd probably lean towards these. The color options are only $200. I'm pretty sure the color option, it's the color matching is pretty solid, kind of like on the Advanblack. You have some good options here. And for $1,300, they do also have great sales. We're getting close to November Black Friday. I would say stay tuned. They have some really good deals on Black Friday. Nasty Hawk, so you could potentially save. Last year, I believe you could probably save around $300 to $400. So if you're looking at adding touring bags, keep an eye on Nasty Hog during Black Friday. So life's a risk. Thanks for watching. Get out there and ride. Later.